There is a crack in my wall. I covered it with a big piece of furniture. I didn't do it for aesthetics. I did it because there is a face that appears in the crack at night. The camp fiends emerge from the forest and converge toward the light of our campsites, watching from the shadows. Last week, something wandered into my apartment. It was hiding in the vents, making all kinds of noises. But what I never understood is, why does the thing look like me? I hate working nights at that one gallery. It's this one painting, the one in red. There are times where it just disappears from the canvas, and it wanders the gallery at night. Something is coming into my room every night just to watch me sleep.
Not all wraiths can walk through walls. So instead, many ghosts look for holes, cracks, and crevices. Doesn't matter the size of the passage, because they will squeeze right on through. Maybe, if you seal the passage, they can't come in. I live for this job. It puts purpose in my life. And just as I'll live for it, I'll die for it.
Damn, it's crowded. I hate crowds. Everyone's getting too close. I need space. I can't breathe. I need space. Where's the way out? No. I'm feeling a little hungry. A midnight snack sounds good. What the hell is that?
I used to love waking up in the middle of the night to watch a family of raccoons that would play on my neighbor's rooftop. But now, I'm watching more than just raccoons. I got moved into my grandma's room. Now I have to sleep where she used to sleep. I'm not happy about it. And grandma's not happy about it too. There's a tall man in my neighborhood. Nobody else can see him. But he likes to watch everyone. And there are always dead birds where he once was. I hate haunted hallways. What the? That movie wasn't scary. My old VCR is more scary than that. It does not make any sense. Oh? Have you ever stared into the flappy thingy? The flappy thingy? Will you put the tape in? It's just an old machine from the 80s, man. No, don't! What the?
Behind the bleachers at my old school's gymnasium, there is an old piece of plywood poorly covering a spot on the wall. And what it covers is a tunnel. It looks like it goes on forever, and no one ever dares explore it. And that's because there are always voices that try to lure us in.
Danny doesn't talk much. But when he does, he says things that only you would understand. It's okay, Ricky. I see the thing that's been following you too. You do? There's an abandoned house at the end of my street. People claim there's a ghost floating in front of the house. And well, there is indeed a ghost in front of the house. But it's not floating. It's hanging. This is the place? I don't like it. Looks like I can get mugged here. So the pickup is in the warehouse? Okay. I'll let you know when I'm on my way back. What the hell? Is he homeless? I drove hours to get here for some good meat. I could have taken out some bad meat myself. Not homeless, not homeless. This is good meat.
There's something about mirrors that scares so many people. Mirrors can sometimes feel like a window into another world. And as we peer into this world, we have some irrational idea that we're going to see something we don't want to see.
Why is there Someone sleeping in my bed. What? Huh? Mom, there's a cute little kitty outside. Can I go play with it? What? When tasked with fetching water from a well, never stare into it. Because the moment you see the faces, they'll pull you right in. I like sleeping on the ground. I prefer it. I did used to have a bed, but I got rid of it. When I would try to sleep on my old bed, I'd hear sounds like someone was crawling under it. But it was once I started hearing the breathing that I just got rid of it. So now, I sleep on the floor. In fresh waters exists an unknown hazard. It may appear as a rock or a piece of trash at first. That is until it slowly begins to drift towards you, at just arm's length. Man, I hate this lake. I always see a face in the water watching me. Yeah, I see her too. Her? Yeah, I got her dinner. I bought an antique chest, but there's something wrong with it. I always find it open. And well, that is because there's an entity with a slit mouth that lives inside. He likes to crawl out every night. So now, I'm selling an antique chest. Remember to always keep the curtains closed. You don't want the darkness outside slipping in. Huh? Be inspired. Yay. Leaving a bathtub filled with water in the dark creates a portal that wraiths will pass through. When I walk home, I pass a ranch to enter my street. There's horses on this ranch, but there's this one horse. It only appears at night, and it always walks close to the fence just to speak to me. One day you'll see me on the other side of that fence. You can't outrun me. Have you ever felt the Shadow Man? He appears only in darkness, directly behind us. You can feel his presence behind you. As you walk down a dark hallway, it instinctively makes you walk faster. And as you move closer to a light or switch, you feel him get closer and closer, as if he is reaching out for you. In the forest, you might bump into a Yarayama. They live to make trades, often trading random items they find in the forest. And when you see one, you must make a trade with it, and the Yarayama must be satisfied with the deal made. Crossing one has grave consequences.
Fork? Fork.
What the? Oh man! Is there an animal trapped in there? Oh god! In my grandma's house, there's a door that is always locked. Sometimes I hear banging and voices coming from behind that door. But one time, when I was staying over, I found the key to that door. I expected something scary, but all I found behind the door was an empty room. Hey Vanilla, good to see you. What are you doing, Annie? Vanilla came to visit me. Do you see him, Danny? He's my imaginary friend. He's a dinosaur. Yeah, that's not a dinosaur. When I was stationed overseas in the desert, I'd be on night watch and catch glimpses of wild dogs circling the FOB. But as they would get closer, I'd notice those things, they were not dogs. 3 signs of a wraith. First, exposure to the entity can cause spontaneous migraines. Second, you might find dark spots imprinted on walls and corners. That is where they are most present. Lastly, wraiths are easier to see through glass. Many catch a glimpse of their haunt from the outside. I used to camp at this nice spot. It was always so quiet and calm, but I should have questioned why it was so quiet. The shadow in my closet is alive. It can expand out of the closet into finger-like threads. As it expands, the threads turn into hands, which turn into arms. And at the end of this expanding body of shadow, a curious face. There was this kid on my street who never left his house. He'd just sit there watching us play outside from his window. But then one day I learned nobody ever lived in that house. So who was that kid? I always burned my chicken. I thought I was just a bad cook. And, well, good news for me, I'm not a bad cook. But my oven is cursed and has been trying to burn my house down. There's this boy who comes by my window every night. But the thing is, my window is on the 3rd floor. I always blockade that door. That is sometimes between 2 hotel rooms. Now, why I blockade it, it's not because I'm afraid of what noise you might hear behind the door, or of an intruder coming to do me harm. I do it because I once stayed in a room with such a door, but when I woke up, the door was gone, yet there were signs someone was in the room as I was sleeping. I have no explanation, and that's what terrifies me. In the swamp near my home, there is something evil. A thing that should never have existed. As it surfaces from the murky waters, I can hear its laugh echo. It's Shrek Rogan.
Somebody want.
This is my house. I know, it's a bit of a mess. But I do get lots of visitors. And even though they don't know I exist, I still enjoy the company and their taste. When hiking through the woodlands, be wary of the loose nooses, because it's not a noose, it's a hunter's snare. There's something sinister about those spherical lamps. If you pay attention, you'll soon notice that they're everywhere, attracting moths to their glow. But moths and insects are not the only things converging around these simple lamps. Hey, there's one apple left. My grandfather found a strange way to scare the crows from his fields. What he did was, he anchored 2 poles into the ground and lathered them in black paint with his bare hands. It was strange and didn't work at first, but when he passed away, it actually started to work. And the poles that he anchored and painted before his death were now keeping the crows away. I wish he was still around to see it working. Alright, this is the place. Hey, thanks again for letting me spend the night to sober up. Yeah, no problem. Just don't make any comments about the roaches. They were already here when I started renting the place. Home sweet home. Ugh, don't pay any mind to the one crawling on the wall. That's not a roach! After my parents split, my mom and I moved into a house, just the 2 of us. The house we moved into was in the middle of nowhere. It was the only thing my mom was able to afford. But I wasn't alone here. There were lots of other kids to play with here. But the other kids were always girls. They would tell me they weren't from here, and that they missed their homes. There's this random thing I feel in my ears sometimes. It usually starts when I'm fine, and I'm just minding my own business. And then all of a sudden, I start hearing a high-pitched ringing in my ear, followed by a very sharp pain like a needle being pushed in. But for some odd reason, this all feels like it's inflicted on me. The deeper you hike into the woods, the more likely you are trespassing. Trespassing into a grove witch's territory. And they want you to know They're watching as you wander deeper. They'll throw small stones to get your attention. And when you see the witch, fear will compel you to flee in the opposite direction, right into the snares of their traps. I used to have a bad habit of being nosy and peeking over my neighbor's fence. But once my neighbor started to peek over my fence, I stopped being nosy. Abandoned and dilapidated places are beacons for hazards and opportunistic predators. When will the rain just stop? Oh no, it saw me. My dad comes home from work at the crack of dawn every day. He fixes things for people. As soon as he gets home, he sits in his chair and watches tape shows to get his mind off work. He likes to be left alone after work, after fixing problems all night. The last thing he wants to think about is fixing things at home. I saw a picture frame in the middle of the room with a candle and some flowers beside it. It was a picture of a girl. She looked happy in it. I didn't know what to do with it. I had just moved into the apartment. I didn't know the previous owners. I didn't know how to reach to them. Please forgive me. I didn't know. So it's in the basement? Are you sure it's real? Yeah, it's always down there. Don't worry, Barry. I'll be right behind you. We'll face this together. No, let me out. Amy, please. Please. It's here. It's real. Just please. I don't feel safe behind a locked door. That's because some of these things don't even use them. Bah, I threw up. There's a stranger that comes to the gas station I work at. They approach the window every night and begin to stare at me from the inside. Yeah, I'm not going back in there. I think I'm going to quit this job. Yeah.